Okay, it's another video about the links between Taoist thinking and the Bible. So the story of Jonah and the whale involves a man who spends 3 days in the belly of a whale. Here's Jonah. Here's the whale's belly. And here's the whale's blowhole. There's the blowhole of the whale. There's Jonah, and he's inside the belly of the whale. Okay, so if you think about when Jesus was crucified, at the end, a soldier stabs him with a spear, creating a hole in his abdomen. So a whale's blowhole is analogous to, is a hole in the body, kind of conspicuous, analogous to a human belly button. So Jesus being stabbed with a spear on the cross is representative of several things. First, he is being penetrated by a phallic symbol in his abdomen. He is being impregnated the way a woman would be impregnated. Second, when he is stabbed with that spear, water comes out. So that represents labor. That's the flood, the story of Noah, labor and birth, a childbirth. And third, it is a spear cuts things. So the umbilical cord of a human being gets severed after birth, leaving a belly button. So the whale's blowhole and the human belly button is connected together in that way, symbolically, just because of the way they kind of appear. You can see how the yin-yang symbol looks like a belly, particularly like a pregnant belly, or like a whale's belly, like a woman gets larger when she becomes pregnant. And so you have this notion of a large belly, and then you have a hole, and of course the woman who hosts a child inside of her womb, that umbilical cord connects them. So you have that kind of connection between them, which gets severed upon birth. So anyway, the story of Jonah and the whale, that's it. Now, there's another aspect of it. He spends 3 days in the belly of the whale. Jesus says at one point, this generation will only get the sign of Jonah, and then he dies and rises on the third day. The miracle at Cana, the wedding at Cana, also happens on the third day. So there are 3 days represented on the yin-yang. If you think about every time the sun rises as a new sun coming into being, because that sun appears at a specific time, at a specific point in the sky, its trajectory is specific, and it ends, its beginning and end point is slightly different every day. So it is unique. So you have one day represented here. This is a circular thing. You have another circular thing. That's the second day, and here's the third day when the action happens. Now, that's why we have 3 days in the belly of the whale. On the third day, Jesus rises. This introduces another concept that's important when you're interpreting the Bible or texts in general. So when you're doing abstraction and you're thinking about things symbolically, one of the techniques that you can use is generalization. So a day is a unit of time. A day is a unit of time, just as a season is a unit of time. And if you think about pregnancy, Genesis 1, the Bible, breaks weeks into 7 days, and so you have 13 weeks per season. You have 4 seasons, 13 weeks per season. A pregnancy, a full-term pregnancy, is around 38 to 40 weeks. So you end up with 3 of those, 3 segments, 3 seasons, quote unquote. Not necessarily, depending upon when you're conceived, of course, the seasons that you span are different, and you can span all 4. But the idea is that if you divide there are 4 seasons in a year, and if you divide the seasons up into 13 weeks, they're each 13 weeks. 39 weeks is about the length of a human pregnancy, which is like 3 seasons. So you have the first season, the second season, and then the third season. So you have the third season is when the child is biggest, when the child comes out. So that's the reason why Jesus was born resurrected, reborn on the third day, the wedding at Cana. The miracle happens on the third day. Jonah spends 3 days, 3 units of time in the belly of a whale. So a child spends 3 units of time in the belly of a larger woman, and on the third one, at the end of the third one, the baby comes out, and it kind of looks like this, like it's coming out like, whoa, what is going on? I got an umbilical cord, I'm coming out of the darkness into the light. Here's the eyes, its head gets squished together. That's the idea behind Jonah and the whale, and also, as I mentioned, it connects to the crucifixion of Jesus, and the yin-yang symbol and Taoist thinking. And once again, this is representative. Taoism is about aligning with the natural way of things. And this is yet one more representation of just how nature functions, because nature and the world and the design of things is a far better indicator of the intention of the artist behind it than any abstractions we can make about it, any words we can use to describe it, any pictures we might make of it. It's nature itself to look to. That's the essence of Taoism, that there is a natural way of things. It is designed, there is intention, it is beautiful, and it is elegant, and it's simply about aligning with the flow of how things are. And that's Jonah and the whale, and Jesus, and babies being born, and the yin yang symbol. It's all connected.